Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be testing GTA 5 Enhanced Edition. Now this game is actually more than 10 years old and it's still getting support these days. Don't you love when you get support for the games that have been there for like 10 years or more, and the games that are launching these days are not even being supported these days, okay? So as you guys can see, we're going to be testing this game out today on an RX 6600 GPU paired with a Ryzen 5 3600 and 16GB of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM. So let's head right into it. I'm using full broadcast full screen mode, and I am using, as you guys can see, ray tracing on ultra settings. Everything is on ultra. FSR3 is on quality, and I've not enabled everything towards ultra. Sharpness I've adjusted myself just to see just what I prefer. Shadow distance I've kept right here. It doesn't bother me, and everything else is like this, okay? So distance scaling, adjust the level of detail on objects seen in the distance. So if I increase this, maybe this is gonna be, yeah, let's get into the game and let's see how it performs. So with FSR3 on quality and ray tracing and everything on ultra, look at that performance, guys. You guys can see that we're getting, with ray tracing, we're getting more than 50 FPS, and most of the times it's ultra dropping into the 40s, but higher 40s is, I would say, is the thing that we're gonna be seeing mostly. So we're gonna steal this car just to see our performance while driving. I cannot see any kind of CPU bottleneck, but my GPU is kind of like dropping into the 90% usage. It's not very high, okay? It's not like 100% usage. So it's also using a lot of CPU. As you guys can see, 66% CPU usage, and our GPU is also pegged at 100%, close to 100%. So that is really nice. I started driving because I wanted to see if we could drop the GPU usage, and maybe this ray tracing is also very intensive towards the CPU side. So I wanted to see if we could stress the CPU also. So which I am exactly doing here. I'm getting 52 FPS average on these settings, and oh, I didn't want to use any cheat. I'm gonna go ahead and now, guys, let's see on native what the performance is gonna be like. Right, so let's go here, and we also got native AA, and it says that our graphics memory is gonna be pegged, yeah, so it's gonna be very high. The selected settings require more video memory than is available. Please lower your settings. Okay, so it's not even letting me change the settings here. So it seems like they know that we're not going to be able to run this game at those settings. So previously what I did was I had it done like this. And what else did I have here? So if I turn this off, it's not even letting me turn it off. So previously I could actually do this, but don't know what's going on now. Maybe if I close other programs, it's gonna be fine. Let's try to do that. Alright guys, so I've closed everything else here, and looks like it's gonna be letting me change the settings now, okay? So seems like whatever program is changing is using your video memory. It's not gonna let you change the settings. So I've closed everything else, and only GTA 5 is currently running. So now I am in native resolution FSR3, and let's see what kind of performance do we get. I already know that when in one mission I was kind of getting dropping into the I saw a drop at 28 FPS, which was very bothersome. So I enabled FSR3 in quality, and as you guys can see right there, it's at 34 FPS, which is not very nice. So yeah, FSR3 on quality still looks really amazing, although native AA FSR3 is looking amazing in this game, in my opinion. Our car, let me just change the camera view. Let's turn it a little bit back so you guys could see. While driving with native AA, I don't get any ghostiness around my car, which was an issue in Cyberpunk 2077 when you enabled FSR3 or FSR2, but in this game at native AA it's not an issue, okay? So let me just enable now FSR3 on quality, so just to see the thing that I'm talking about here. And Yeah, now FSR 3 on quality, the same settings, guys. Now I don't know if you're gonna be able to check, if you're gonna be able to know or see it in the YouTube video, what I'm talking about. But when you're driving your car, fast-moving objects are gonna leave trails or shadows around them with FSR 3 on quality. So now my FPS is close to 60, as I'm not in a very intensive area. Let's try to drive back on the highway so we could see what kind of performance we're gonna get. Let's start counting the frames again. And yeah, so 56 still. So seems like changing those settings did something to the game. Now it's at 61 FPS. So we can see drops. I would say we can see drops into the 40s, higher 40s. But we can see that we're gonna be able to be staying close to 60 FPS with ultra ray tracing and everything. Not everything to the max, but most of the settings are turned to the maximum. Alright, so this is a very good experience in my opinion, and this is a very old game, very old engine. As you guys can see, the textures and stuff, they don't look very good. The game is very old, mind you. It has its issues. My frame time graph, although is very smooth, I'm using a 25.2.1 driver today. At the time of filming, this is actually the latest driver available. So I'm using this driver and the game is running pretty stable. I've installed the game on an SSD. There were no issues previously with GTA 5 whenever I played it, you know. So on this GPU, so I would say this is a really good experience. And these games, new games coming out these days, are having a lot of issues with ray tracing. I don't know what these guys are doing with ray tracing, that they're having so good performance. Maybe they are not ray tracing everything, but they say that ray trace shadows, global illumination, everything is enabled. I don't know what's going on, guys. Yeah, so FSR 3 is having some issues with these fences and stuff, but most of the things are good. Let's try to get out and see our reflections here. Ray trace reflections here. So as you guys can see, everything is being ray traced, although I cannot say that this is a very good quality of ray traced reflections here. I cannot make out or read the stuff that's written there. So yeah, although it's being ray traced, which I can see that that's really nice. So let's try to move here. And now what I want to do is I actually want to go ahead and decrease my settings, because that's what I should be doing. I'm going to be decreasing some settings here. Graphics preset. Now let's go with presets. I'm going to go with maximum RT first to see that what happens. Maybe it is more intensive than the ray tracing settings that I enabled. FSR 3 on quality, and these are the settings here. So RT preset, maximum RT preset. Now guys, with FSR 3 on quality, yeah, it's somewhat a little bit more intensive, guys. It's a little bit more intensive. Yeah, it's in the 40s now with FSR 3 on quality. So yeah, that's really nice. It's nice looking, it's performing good, and yeah, so if you guys want to play GTA 5 again, I mean, they've done it. They've given us somewhat of an upgrade with the graphics, at least till GTA 6 comes out. That game looks amazing in the in its trailers, even though the trailers are the trailer is like very old now. So I think they're gonna be improving the game a lot more than when they launched the trailer. So yeah, the game is looking very good, and it's performing also very good, still in the 40s. I've not seen it drop below 40 FPS right now with these settings. So let's go ahead and now go to another preset here, guys. Let's go to very high RT. So this is very high RT, guys. The same setting, the same 1080p 144 Hertz and everything, with FSR 3 on quality, 65 FPS. So if you guys want to get more than 60 FPS, most of the times I would say this is this is looking like it's gonna be staying above 60 FPS. I've started counting the frames again to see if I can get a drop of less than 60. But 62, yeah, I got it. Okay, so when you're fast driving, it's still dropping into the lower 50s. Okay, so it's not much of a very stable experience like 60 FPS experience, but I think if you lock the frame rate at like 50 FPS, you could get very good performance out of this. Okay, it's still ray tracing, guys. It's still tracing rays, and it's FSR 3 on quality, which is not very bothersome in my opinion. And I can see some trails around my car, like shadows and stuff, shadowy stuff when I'm moving very fast with FSR 3 on quality, but it still looks amazing. Alright, so let's go ahead now and let's try to decrease the settings even further. Let's go to very high. Now I think this is gonna turn off ray tracing totally, and I don't think that we require FSR 3 on quality now. So let's disable FSR 3 quality and enable native AA, and let's see with very high preset what kind of performance we're gonna get. So with disabling ray tracing, oh my god, it kind of looks like it's more sharp. Yeah, it's more sharp due to native AA FSR 3, but the reflections kind of look more sharp in yeah, they are rasterized, but I think they look more sharp. They're not realistic, but they look more sharp. The ray traced reflections that are with the ray traced reflections kind of look like they are very ghosty, you know. They're smudgy, and when I've disabled ray tracing, I can see that it's looking really sharp now, reflections at least. Let's get out of our car. Let's try to see what I'm talking about here, because these surfaces, I think, they're not ray traced, but they're reflecting something. No, they're still not reflecting very good, you know. So I don't think this is very good looking, but it's still sharp. You know, very high settings are still very good for many GPUs. This is native AA FSR 3, which is resolving the image really nicely, and not having many issues even when movement is high, you know, and leaves and stuff. Everything is looking very good. So let's go ahead, guys, and I'm gonna try to see if that was an issue with FSR 3, because I am on native AA FSR 3. Because the reflections on my car were not very nice. They were not very nice. The reflections on my car. Yeah, let's try to get back to our car. I think it's here. Did it get stolen? Did somebody steal my car? Let's take this guy's car. Get out, get out. So the performance is kind of like really nice. Oh, he's gonna come back and get it. But I cannot see many issues with FSR 3 on quality. There was an issue with ray tracing, guys. So ray trace reflections are not very sharp in this game, which I kind of guessed, because you know the game is performing really nicely on an RX 6600 even with ultra ray tracing preset. So I think they are not ray tracing very high in this game. Okay. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's go back to native AA, and let's go to, okay, so what is this? So very high, and then if you go lower you get high RT preset. I mean, that's weird. Okay, so let's try high RT preset. And this is native resolution, guys, and this is high RT. Now, yeah, global illumination has a lot of difference with rasterized image and ray traced image. Global illumination makes a lot of difference, which I can see right here. So 47 FPS right now. So if you guys want native AA experience for this game with RT, I think high RT preset is the way to go. Alright, let's go down, further down, and let's go to high now. Now this will not have any RT, and yeah, it is kind of like CPU bound now. I think that we're 7.2 gigabytes of VRAM usage, and we are very much CPU bound. Our GPU usage is at kind of like 75%, 75 watt, and this is a 100 watt GPU, so it's at 75% GPU usage. I got a huge starter there. So the game is performing nicely. It's at 100 FPS now. City is more intensive than this area, I think. Yeah, let's try to go up to this, through this mountain and stuff. Yep, 100 FPS. So if you guys want more than 100 FPS, you can achieve this. I mean, you could achieve it before even with the previous version of the game, the native version of the game. You could achieve this easily. Alright, so 100, close to 100 FPS, dropping into the 80s, but not lesser than that. Alright, let's go ahead and let's try to decrease the settings even further. Minimum settings, guys. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and restarted the game. This is the minimum settings now, and yeah, this is native experience, minimum settings, and this is the least you could go in this game, and we're getting 100 FPS. Now this was a given. This is just for the purpose of testing today, and as you guys can see, the graphics don't look very good. Textures and stuff, they're very outdated and stuff. So no, I don't want a taxi. I wanted to steal your taxi. Okay, so let's get into this car, try to steal it, and alright guys, so as you guys can see, 100 FPS most of the times, not dropping more, but our GPU usage is dropping a lot. When I'm driving, it's like in the 50s and 60%. So I forgot to mention, guys, I'm actually using 24 gigabytes of system memory, not 16 gigabytes. Most of our videos I just kind of like say 16 gigabytes, which is not true. I've actually changed my system memory to 24 gigabytes okay now, and yeah, and after changing 24 gigabytes to 24 gigabytes, the games have become kind of very smooth, because 16 gigabytes these days is kind of on the lower end of the spectrum, you know. So as you guys can see now, the performance is really nice. This is one of the games, many games that and launched in 2025 that has playable RT in it. So I could say that it is playable, and if you have a GPU like this, you can play this game with RT enabled and have a very nice experience. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like, guys, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.